I read this book and chapter 5 and 6. Love and Revolution. One evening, Cosette sat in the garden enjoying the warm breeze. All at once, she had a feeling that she was not alone. She turned her head and saw Marius. She rose to her feet, feeling dizzy. Rose to her feet, feeling dizzy. Hello, he said. Do you recognize me? I looked everywhere before I found you. At night, I come here to be near you. I adore you. Oh, was all she said. She almost fainted, and he quickly took her in his arm. Do I make you uncomfortable? He asked. No, she said, and blushed. She looked into his face with loving eyes. He held her close and said, You love me then? Yes, she whispered. They kissed. Oh, it certainly is. They sat down on the beach and began to talk. What is your name? She asked. My name is Marius, he said. And yours? My name is Cosette, she said. Every night after that, Marius came to the garden. He said, Do you recognize me? I looked everywhere before I found you. At night I came here to be near you. I adore you. I was faint and quickly took her in his arm. She rose to her feet, feeling dizzy. One night, Jean made a shocking discovery. The Thénardiers were living in the neighborhood. He went home and told Cosette they were moving away. When Marius next came to see Cosette, she had been crying. What's wrong, my love? He asked. My father and I are moving to England, she said. You can't leave me. I will die if you do. The next evening, Marius visited his grandfather for the first time in 4 years. His grandfather was a loyalist who had hated Marius' father because he had fought for Napoleon. After Marius' mother died in childbirth, his grandfather took Marius away from his father. The old man told Marius that his father was a bad man, and Marius believed what he said. When Marius was 17, he was called to his father's deathbed. He was shocked to learn that his father was actually a brave soldier and kind man. He accused his grandfather of lying to him about his father, and they argued bitterly. Marius left the house and never returned. He studied hard and became a lawyer, but he made a little money. Several times his grandfather sent him money, but Marius refused to take it. Now, because of his love for Cosette, Marius had to see his grandfather again. Why have you come here? Mark asked Marius' grandfather coldly. Have you come to apologize to me? No, sir, said Marius. I have come to ask your permission to marry. Marry whom? Is she rich? Said his grandfather. No, but I love her. Her father doesn't know about us, and they're moving to England. I must marry her to be with her. If she meets you without her father's knowledge, she is not a respectable woman, said the old man. You will never have my permission to marry her. Marius had entered his grandfather's house with little hope and left in wisdom. For hours, he wandered the street, feeling helpless and hopeless. At dawn, Marius made his way to the apartment of his friend Courfeyrac. It was 1832, and the poor people of Paris were dying of starvation and disease. They had begun speaking out against the government, and talk about revolution was increasing. The people's hero was General Lamarck, and they loved him. He was the only member of government who seemed to care about them. But 2 days ago, he had died of the same disease that was killing the poor, and the people had lost hope. Courfeyrac was one of the leaders of the group of student revolutionary. Today, after General Lamarck's funeral, they were to start an armed revolution. Heartbroken and with nothing to live for, Marius decided to join them. At Lamarck's funeral, shots were fired and the uprising began. People built barricades in the street using uproot tree, carriers, paving stone, and furniture. A crowd led by Courfeyrac built a barricade in the Rue de la Chanvriere. A wine shop at the end of the street was their headquarters. Marius, armed with two pistols, hurried for the barricade. That evening, Jean heard a knock on the door. When he opened it, a boy gave him a letter. "This is for Cosette," he said. "It's from Marius. He's at the barricade at the Rue de la Chanvriere." Jean opened the letter. The 6 Rue de Paris to Carpari. "My love, my grandfather will not agree to our marriage, so I have gone to join the revolution. I will die thinking of you. Remember me, I love you." Jean's hand shook as he read Marius' word. He realized that Cosette had been seeing Marius secretly. For a moment, Jean was furious that she had lied to him. Then he felt a moment of joy and relief. The young man was determined to die for the revolution, so it was all over. But no, Marius was still alive and Cosette loved him. "Can I stand by and do nothing?" he thought. "No, I must do something." An hour later, he left the house with a loaded gun and box of cartridges. He was headed toward the Rue de la Chanvriere. Jean arrived at the barricade at dawn. The revolutionaries were waiting for the king's soldiers to come. They knew there was no escape, but they would die fighting. Jean went into the cellar of the wine shop. He was shocked to see Inspector Javert tied up to the post. Apparently, 네.